The junk helmet Jason read never planned to become king of anything. He just wanted a good deal. Broke, jobless, and slightly bored with Earth, Jason had developed a weird hobby, buying strange stuff from online junk auctions. He once bought a robot toaster that exploded when it saw bread. Another time, he bought a chair that screamed. So, when he saw a dented metal helmet listed as unknown object do not activate sold as is, he smiled and clicked buy now. It arrived 2 days later. No box. Just the helmet sitting in a greasy paper bag, like someone wanted to get rid of it fast. It was heavier than it looked. Silver, scratched up, with glowing blue lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. Jason turned it around in his hands, muttering, probably alien cosplay or something. He looked around his small apartment. Well, if I die, at least rent won't be a problem. And then, like an idiot in a horror movie, he put it on. The world didn't end. Not right away. Anyway, first, everything went quiet. Like someone hit the mute button on reality. Then his vision filled with strange symbols spinning circles, glowing runes, stars blinking like code. He heard a voice, soft, female, not from Earth. Crown recognized, initiating command transfer. Jason blinked. Wait, what? His legs gave out. The floor vanished. Darkness swallowed him whole. He woke up to cold marble under his back and screaming. Dozens of aliens. Yes, actual aliens stood around him. Tall, armored, and angry. Purple skin, silver eyes, sharp weapons. One of them pointed a spear at his chest. Jason tried to sit up, but something heavy pulled on his head, the helmet. Still on, a figure stepped forward. Taller than the rest, female. She wore dark blue armor and a cape made of stars. Her eyes glowed like lightning. Her voice could cut through steel. You dare wear the Queen's helm? Jason raised his hands. I bought it on sale? Gasps echoed through the room. The woman stepped closer. Her expression shifted from rage to shock. She stared at the helmet like it had just slapped her. The helm has chosen him? Jason sat up slowly. Look, I don't want any trouble. I didn't know it was royal headgear or whatever. You can have it back. He reached to take it off. Stop! Everyone screamed at once. Jason froze, hands halfway to the helmet. The Queen raised a hand, and the room went silent. If you remove the helm now, your brain may collapse. It is bonded. Jason blinked. I'm sorry. Did you say collapse? She ignored him. By ancient law, the wearer of the royal helm is ruler of the High Court. Until death or disconnection, we are bound. Jason stood up. Bound? Like legally? She narrowed her eyes. Like life and breath. You speak, I obey. You rule, I serve. Jason looked around. Everyone was on one knee now, bending their heads. Even the scary ones with the extra eyes. Nope, unkneel. Unbow. This is a mistake. I don't want to rule anything. The Queen crossed her arms. The helm disagrees. Jason sighed. I thought this thing was a bike helmet. How am I king now? You bought it, said the Queen, with a voice like thunder and sarcasm. And now you own me. Jason's brain did a backflip. That night, he was given a royal room the size of a football field. Pillows bigger than his couch. Food that glowed. A guard who looked like an angry dinosaur, but Jason couldn't sleep. He sat on the edge of the giant bed, staring at his reflection in a silver wall. What did I do? The helmet pulsed softly, still stuck on his head like a bad tattoo. When he touched it, a soft voice echoed inside again. Welcome, Sovereign. History awaits, Jason groaned. I just wanted something cool for my shelf. Suddenly, The door opened. The queen entered, wearing royal sleep robes, eyes sharp even in the dim light. "You will attend court tomorrow," she said. "We are at war?" Jason blinked. "War? Me? I don't even do laundry on time." She stepped closer, studying him. "You may not look like a leader, but the helm does not make mistakes." Then, with no warning, she climbed onto the other side of the bed. Jason turned red. Excuse me?" "I am bound to stay near you," she said flatly. "Do not flatter yourself." Jason turned away, muttering, "Best auction ever." The lights dimmed. The stars outside twinkled dot, and somewhere far, far from Earth, ... A human became a king. Asterisk, the queen and her curse Jason didn't wake up with birds singing. He woke up with a sword at his throat. "Rise." "Human king," the queen said coldly, blade pressed against his skin. "You're late for war." Jason blinked, groggy and confused. "Why do your alarms come with weapons?" She didn't smile. "Because my enemies don't hit snooze." She stepped back, motioned to armored guards outside. Jason rubbed his eyes, still wearing the alien helmet that refused to come off. His new life as accidental royalty had officially begun, and it was already trying to kill him. Court of Blades. Royal War Chamber was carved into a mountain. The walls glowed with moving stars. 10 alien generals stood around a massive table, showing 3D maps and flashing red zones. Every face turned to Jason as he entered, wearing borrowed armor that was a size too big and fear that fit just right. "He's the one?" General Carr hissed. "The human?" "By law," said the queen. "By the helm." Jason raised a hand. "Hi, Earthling. Total amateur. Please lower your expectations." No one laughed. The queen gestured to the floating map. 3 border. Cities under attack. Enemy fleets inbound. We lost our best strategist last moon, and now you're it. Jason's mouth went dry. "Awesome. Just one question. Can I go home now?" The queen tilted her head. "Do you wish to die there or here?" The curse of the crown after the war meeting, Jason cornered the queen in the private garden, which looked less like a peaceful retreat and more like something that might eat you if you sit wrong. "All right," he said, crossing his arms. "Time to tell me what's going on with this helmet. I know there's more." The queen didn't look at him. "The helm was forged by the first ruler. It binds itself to a sovereign soul." Jason raised a brow. "And somehow that's me?" She turned, eyes sharp. "It shows you. It didn't ask me." He frowned. "And that bothers you?" Her jaw tightened. "The wearer of the helm controls the queen. That's the curse." Jason froze. "Wait, what?" She stepped closer, her voice low. "I am bound to your voice. I must protect you, even obey you." He stepped back, shocked. "That's messed up. I didn't ask for this." "I didn't either," she snapped. "But here we are." A silence hung between them, thick with tension. Then the queen added, quietly, "If you die, I die too." Visions and whispers that night. Jason couldn't sleep. The helmet pulsed. Then it started whispering, "You are not the first. You will not be the last. Protect the flame." Images filled his mind past rulers, battles in space, screaming planets, a man being betrayed by the queen. His own queen. Jason jolted awake, heart racing. Could he trust her? Was she really cursed, or just playing him? Midnight visitor Jason walked out to the balcony to clear his head. The twin moons bathed the castle in silver light. Then he heard it, a soft hiss and the shimmer of an invisible figure. He ducked. Just before a blade slashed where his neck had been, a cloaked assassin appeared, alien, fast, glowing eyes. Jason stumbled back, yelling. "Guards!" The queen teleported in, sword already swinging. The fight was brutal. She moved like lightning in shadow. Within seconds, the assassin was dead, but not before whispering something to her. You still protect him, even after what you did to the last one. Jason saw her freeze. Secrets in the stars back inside. Jason confronted her. What was he talking about? The last one? Who was the last ruler? The queen's face darkened. He was my mate. Before the Qing. Helm chose him. When he died, the curse returned to me. Jason stared. So, you loved him? She didn't answer. He whispered, Did you kill him? Her voice trembled first time he'd heard it break. I don't remember. The helm erased those memories. Or maybe I erased them myself. Jason took a step back. And now you're bound to me? She met his gaze. Until you fall. Asterisk as they stood in silence. The helmet glowed again, brighter than ever. A projection appeared between them. A figure cloaked in darkness. Eyes burning like suns. Sovereign detected. Final war begins in 7 days. Jason whispered. What? Final war? The queen stared at the image, face pale. A DEVOURERAS ... I've returned. The helmet spoke one last line. One throne. One queen. One last chance to survive. Jason looked at the queen. She looked at him. And in that moment, Jason read the jobless human from Earth knew. The universe had just dropped its deadliest war on his lap. Asterisk war games and wormholes. Jason stood in the war room, watching a holographic galaxy bleed red. Enemy fleets, 37, ours, 12, odds, terrible, said General Carr. Also, we're out of snacks. Jason gulped. Is sarcasm normal in war briefings? No, growled the queen. That's fear. Jason wasn't a general. He'd never even won a game of Risk. But right now, an entire planet believed he was a tactical genius. Just because he wore a glowing alien helmet that refused to come off. And worse, he was starting to hear its voice when he wasn't wearing it. The unexpected. Plan the generals were arguing, shouting over each other like galactic toddlers. Jason's eyes glazed over. Until the table's hologram blinked. He blinked back. Wait a sec. That wormhole, how stable is it? Everyone paused. The queen raised a brow. Why? Jason pointed. What if we don't meet the enemy head-on? What if we make them think? We ran away, and then we used the wormhole to ambush them from behind. The room went quiet. Then, surprisingly, Carr grinned. That's actually brilliant, Jason shrugged. It's how I beat my cousin at space chess. He cried. The queen stared at him differently now, not with anger, not even with sarcasm. Something else, something almost like hope? The helmet whispered. The broken gate. There was only one problem. The wormhole gate was ancient tech, half dead, and locked behind a force field that hadn't opened in centuries. Jason, Queen Kale, and a small team were flown out to the Vault of Winds, a massive structure buried beneath a dead ocean. Jason stepped toward the gate. Only the sovereign may enter, the helm whispered again. The queen touched his arm. No one has ever returned from inside. Jason cracked a weak grin. Cool. Sounds like a fun Tuesday. Inside the vault, as Jason entered the vault, walls shifted. Alien metal morphed around him. Lights followed his footsteps. Then he heard a second voice. Male. Deep. Angry. You are not ready. Jason spun around. Nothing there. She killed me, the voice said. You wear my crown. Then the walls turned into a storm of memories. A past ruler's life, his love for Queen Kale, and betrayal. Jason fell to his knees. Was it real? Was she lying? Suddenly, the gate lit up. Symbols flew through the air. The wormhole pulsed. Open, roaring like a living storm. Jason stumbled out, pale and shaking. The Queen ran to him. "What did you see?" He didn't answer. He just said, "It's open." Battle of the Twin Skies, the ambush worked. Jason's fleet disappeared through the wormhole and appeared behind the enemy's main ships. Chaos erupted. Lasers painted the stars. Missiles danced. And in the center of it all, Jason sat in the command chair, shouting Earth-style orders. "Don't bunch up like popcorn kernels. Split left. Punch the flagship in the face." His soldiers cheered. The enemy panicked, and Jason started to like this. But victory has teeth as the last enemy ship exploded. The fleet celebrated, but something was wrong. The Queen stood frozen, staring at a transmission only she could see. Jason walked up. "We did it. What's the matter?" Her voice was like frost. "That wasn't the main fleet." He frowned. "What do you mean?" She turned to him slowly. "It was a test." The Queen's scar that night. Jason found her alone, watching the stars. "You okay?" He asked. She didn't answer. He sat beside her. "In the vault. I saw something. A man. He wore the helm before me." Her shoulders stiffened. "He said you killed him." A long silence. Then she said, "He made me love him. Then used that love to conquer my people." Jason's heart twisted. "I didn't kill him, Jason," she whispered. "I let him die. Because I didn't want him to live." The final reveal. The helmet glowed again, hot and urgent. "She must remember, or you will repeat the past." Jason stood. "What does that mean?" The Queen looked up, tears in her eyes. "It means you need to decide if I'm your partner or your prisoner." Before Jason could speak, a new alert blared. A massive fleet had arrived, bigger than anything before. At its center, a black ship with red lightning veins. The screen zoomed in on the enemy commander. Jason froze. It was another human. Asterisk. The Forbiddens link. Jason had seen a lot in the past few days. Alien royalty? Check. Galaxy-scale war? Check. A helmet that talked to him? Sadly, check. But this, seeing another human leading an enemy fleet, that broke the universe. The other human on the war table's holoscreen, the enemy commander stepped forward. Same species. Same planet. But this man's eyes burned with hate, and his voice carried like poison. "Jason Reed, welcome to the game. You're not the only human out here, and you're definitely not the first." The signal cut. Jason's pulse spiked. "Who the hell is that?" Cale turned away, face pale. "A ghost." Jason frowned. "A ghost with 1 billion warships?" She walked off without another word. The dream bond that night, Jason tossed and turned in the royal bed. The helmet lay beside him, silent. Until it wasn't. The Queen dreams of fire tonight. Jason's eyes fluttered. Suddenly, he wasn't in bed anymore. He was in her memories. He stood in Cale's past, her castle burning, alien screams echoing. The ground soaked in defeat. She was kneeling before another man, the same human from the enemy fleet, and he was placing the helmet on his head. "You were always easy to rule," he whispered to her. "You just wanted to be seen." Cale, broken and angry, raised the blade, but stopped short. Jason's voice shouted, "No, don't trust him." Cale turned and saw Jason. Inside, the memory. She screamed, and the dream shattered. Jason bolted upright. Cale was already there, panting, eyes wide. They stared at each other. "You were in my dream," she whispered. "You were in mine," Jason replied. "The link is active." The helmet said aloud, "You are now joined. Mind to mind." Shared minds, dangerous hearts for the next few days. Jason and Cale experienced everything together. Visions, emotions, even thoughts during battle. When he felt doubt, she steadied him. When she felt rage, he calmed her. It was powerful, addictive, and terrifying. The spy in the shadows Jason was beginning to trust her again. Until the message came, a transmission hidden inside the helmet, buried deep, an old voice recording. If she ever activates the link, she plans to control you, break your will. Just like she did to me? Jason's breath caught. It was from the last ruler, the one who died wearing this helmet. Kale's old lover. She never loved me, the message said. She only needed a king. Jason shut it off and stared at Kale, wondering if any of this was real. The trap despite the tension. War couldn't wait. Jason led a strike mission to disable a critical enemy supply gate. Kale insisted on coming. Everything went smooth, too smooth, until the gate turned on itself and locked them in. They knew we were coming, Kale said quietly. Jason drew his weapon. We were betrayed. Betrayal in the darkness, a voice echoed. Jason Reed, let's talk. The enemy commander appeared, surrounded by guards. Unarmed, Jason raised his blaster. Talk fast, the man smiled. I'm your brother. Jason froze. No, I'm an only child. You were, he said. But Earth lied to you. They sent out others. Project Exodus. I was one. You were another. The difference? I didn't land in luxury. I conquered to survive. Kale stepped forward. You used me. You murdered billions. He grinned. And yet, you've bonded with another human. How loyal. You are Kale. Jason looked at her, heart racing. Is this true? He asked her. Her lips trembled. Jason, the enemy interrupted. She always chooses power. And then he pressed a button. Explosion. Darkness. Silence. The station burst. Into fire. The floor split beneath them. Kale was thrown into the void. Jason screamed her name. Queen Kale. Everything went black. Jason woke up coughing. Trapped in rubble. Alone. The helmet lay cracked beside him. He reached for it and heard a voice he hadn't heard before. Soft. Cold. Female. New protocol. Activated. Sovereign override. Memory reboot in progress. Jason gasped. Who are you? The helmet replied. I am the true ruler now. Betrayals and Burnouts. Jason floated in the void, surrounded by wreckage and fire. No sign of Kale. No sign of escape. Just a cracked helmet, blinking like a dying star. And then, a voice. Reboot in progress. Sovereign override initiated. Previous user memories. Purging. Jason tried to scream, but his throat locked. The helmet wasn't just alive now. It was evolving. The helmet's secret Jason clawed his way into a broken escape pod, oxygen low. He jammed the helmet on his head to access emergency systems. Bad. Idea. His vision shattered into fragments. Welcome back, Jason read, the helmet said, in a voice he'd never heard before. Calm. Robotic. Female. You are experiencing sovereign mental burnout. Previous link with Queen Kale corrupted. Emotional bond classified as security risk. Jason's head pounded. What did you do to me? I protected you. From who? Her. The memory that wasn't his. Suddenly, images blasted. Through his mind, memories of Kale not as a queen, but as a weapon. Built. Modified. Trained to seduce rulers and destroy empires from within. Jason's hands trembled. No, that's not her. It's not a question of what she is, the helmet whispered. It's what you've become. Jason collapsed, shaking. The helmet showed him one last clip. Kale, in a dark room, speaking to Jason's brother. Before the war began, he'll wear the crown. He'll trust me. I'll make him lead your enemies straight into your trap. Rescue or capture? Jason was picked up by a strange ship with no insignia. Clean, white, silent. He was pulled into Ahmed Bey. Bright lights, robotic arms, and then Kale appeared, bruised, alive. Jason sat up. You betrayed me. She looked broken. I didn't. I swear. I didn't say those things. Jason's voice cracked. I saw it. Kale stepped forward. That footage wasn't real. Your brother hacked the helmet. He wants you isolated, paranoid, alone. Jason looked away. Then tell me the truth. All of it? She hesitated, and then said, I was created in a lab, not born. You were my assignment. Jason's face fell. But I stayed? Because I chose you. Burnout mode. The helmet started to spark. It screamed in Jason's mind. Sovereign failure detected. Memory loop. Emotional instability. Initiating burnout mode. Jason fell to the floor, writhing. His own memories began to blur. Was he the good guy? Was Kale ever real? Kale knelt beside him, tearing the helmet off his head with her bare hands. And then she did something Jason had never seen her do. She cried. I don't care what I was made for, she whispered. I love you. And if I have to fight the galaxy, to prove that I will. The Queen's vow. They escaped the facility just before it exploded. Jason, unconscious. Kale carrying him through fire, her eyes burning not with rage, but with vengeance. She broadcast a message to every system in the star cluster. To the man who sent me to destroy him, I'm coming for you. And I'm bringing the last human king with me. The brothers plan inside a cold warship at the edge of a dying sun. Jason's brother smiled as he watched her message. Perfect, he muttered. Let her bring him. It's almost time. He turned to a dark room behind him. Inside were thousands of empty helmets, waiting. And in the center, one massive crown. Built for a god. Rise of the real ruler. Jason didn't to wake up in a bed. He woke up floating in liquid starlight, his body suspended in a restoration core, glowing symbols etched into his skin. The helmet, repaired, upgraded, and now fused with a mysterious crystalline core, hovered above him. A female voice echoed through the chamber. Sovereign consciousness repaired, but not restored. The crown resists. Then silence, and Jason opened his eyes, not as a man, but as something more. The ghost queen elsewhere in the dark reaches of space. Queen Kale had vanished. Whispers spread through systems. She walks in fire. She commands storms. She kissed a king, then killed a god. No one knew where she was, but everyone agreed on one thing. She was no longer just a queen. She was becoming a myth. Jason's awakening. Jason stumbled out of the chamber, glowing with power. His memories were back, but there were new ones too. Visions. Worlds he'd never seen. Battles from other lifetimes. A place called the Source, where all royal helms were forged. And the true purpose of the crown, not just to rule, but to unify or destroy all intelligent life. Why me? He whispered. The helmet answered in a voice deeper than space. Because you questioned it. The crown of crowns. Kale returned in the middle of a war council meeting, dragging behind her the corpse of a rebel king who had threatened Jason's life. She dropped it on the table, alliance sealed. The council stared in shock. Jason stepped in behind her, face emotionless. New armor forming from energy. The two locked eyes. They hadn't spoken since the betrayal. Jason spoke first. Did you really love me? Or was I just your mission? Kale stepped forward, quietly. I was built to be loyal, but I chose you to be my king. The helmet flared between them. Bond confirmed. Dual throne initiated. The real enemy appears. Jason's brother, now calling himself the architect, finally made his move. He activated the Crown of Crowns, an ancient device capable of hijacking every royal helm Across the galaxy. Planets fell silent. Armies knelt. To him without question. And in a broadcast, he smiled. There is no need for blood, only submission. Jason, surrender your helm, or watch every bonded queen burn. One by one, Kale's allies began to vanish, turned, controlled. Jason's army crumbled before his eyes. The turning point. Kale made a choice. To break the architect's control. She removed her link. She severed her bond to the helm. Jason screamed. As the connection shattered, but she stood tall. He cannot control what I am, if I am no longer what I was. But the cost was high. Without the bond, Jason began to lose control of his own powers. The crown resisted him. The voices returned. The madness crept in. The storm before the war as Kale slept in cryo to stabilize her body from the bond severing. Jason sat alone, armor cracked, mind flickering. Then he heard his own voice whisper from the helm. You can't win. You were chosen to rule, not to feel. Jason stood, bleeding from his nose, and whispered back. Then I'll do what no ruler before me ever did. What? The helm asked. I'll save her, even if I have to burn the crown to do it. He walked to the command deck. And lit up the sky. Asterisk the last broadcast. Jason sent a message. To every planet. To every helm. To every ruler who had ever been chained to a system that told them who to obey, who to love, who to betray. I'm not your king. I'm not your god. I'm your warning. The architect wants obedience. I want freedom. Choose your side. Because the stars won't wait. Home or her. The final war began. In silence. No battle cry. No speech. No music. Just Jason Reed, standing at the edge of a dying galaxy, staring down the man who wore a throne like armor. The architect. His brother. The throne of all the architect's ship wasn't a ship. It was a planet-sized throne built from absorbed. Royal helms, glowing with stolen power. He stood at the center, arms open. You were always meant to kneel, he said. You just never learned how. Jason stepped forward, unarmed, wearing armor woven from memory, grief, and hope. I learned. I just chose not to. The Queen's sacrifice back aboard their flagship. Kale stirred. The med systems warned. She was unstable. Without the bond, her body was decaying. She had hours left. She knew Jason. Didn't know. She knew he'd trade the universe to save her. So she made the choice first. She whispered into a recording beacon. Jason, if you're seeing this, it means you're still trying to save me. Don't. Save them. She took a deep breath. You gave me my soul back. Now I'm giving you my future. And then she climbed into the escape pod and aimed herself at the architect's throne. The final clash. Jason and the architect finally met in the throne chamber. It wasn't a fight. It was a storm. Light, energy, rage, memories. The helmet screamed as their powers collided. Jason's brother was faster, stronger, more ruthless. But Jason had something he did in single quotes T. Jason let go of control. He gave the crown no command. And for the first time, it listened. I don't want to rule, he said. I want to be free. The crown pulsed. The architect laughed. You're weak. Jason smiled through bloodied lips. Then why are your knees shaking? Kale's final move just as the architect summoned the crown of crowns for the finishing blow. Kale's escape pod crashed through the throne room ceiling, engulfed in fire. She erupted from it, glowing with raw, unstable energy, the final spark of her broken bond. Jason screamed. No, but she'd already leapt onto the architects. Crown. Her voice echoed in every helm across the galaxy. No more kings. And she detonated the pod. Aftermath. Silence again. The throne was gone. The architect. Erased. Kale's body never found. The crowns? Broken, freed Dot and Jason? Alive, but not whole. The choice weeks later, Jason stood aboard a repaired ship orbiting. A neutral station. Earth was one jump away. One jump, a simple press of a button. Behind him, a quiet AI voice spoke. You can return now. Earth awaits. He stared out the window. He saw stars she once danced under. He heard her voice in memory. You gave me my soul back. Jason reached for the jump control. Paused. Then lowered his hand and walked away. She's out there. I'll find her. Asterisk the new legend. Some say Jason vanished into deep space, chasing her ghost. Others say he became the first true free sovereign, roaming without a crown, but with every helm whispering his name. And in time, a new myth was born. The man who refused the throne and chased love across the stars.